Choir for me is about those times during My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose and Echo, when time stops and you feel that connection between people from all over the world. This is the gift of music and something that I think people should experience all over the world. Through HVCC, I know that I've helped give that experience to others, whether it's been on the Great Wall of China to an audience or to that choir one girl who I helped find dough in her music.
So just as the song puts the two cultures together, now tonight we have put our two cultures together, and it's fantastic.
I live and breathe music, and if anyone tries to say differently, I say let them listen to the Briton, to the Poulenc, to Homeland.
We all feel the pull of years of singing together, a family. The indescribable beauty of harmony, ancient songs, and singing rounds with soulmates on a ferry across the English Channel.
There are no words to accurately describe the unique experience that is Heart of the Valley Children's Choir. I could try to sum up the experience and convey what the weekly rehearsals, concerts, tours, retreats, and fundraisers amount to, but it would be missing something. There's something about singing, working hard, traveling, and spending lots of time with wonderful people that simply cannot be described in words.
So glad to be part of this community. I'll never forget the final night of our China trip when my friends and I sang a song we wrote for the senior girls, and later that summer they invited us to a sleepover.
I will never forget going on tour to England and France during the summer of 2008. We saw some amazing places and sang in some of the most beautiful cathedrals. I will never forget our ferry ride while crossing the English Channel on the way to France, looking back at the white cliffs of Dover and singing the national anthem of France. It was so special, and I will hold it close to my heart forever.
I've been granted so many opportunities through this organization. I've built friendships that will last me my life. I've traveled across the world in order to share the gift of music with perfect strangers. And most importantly, I've grown as a young adult.
I attribute all my hours spent rehearsing in the cavernous Jefferson Gymnasium in church pews, sleeping on grungy Tadmor mattresses, doling out money for tour after tour, and student directing when sleeping sounded so much more appealing, all to that one kind of neck shiver. It's what united me to the Chinese audience as we sang for them at the Great Wall. I know they could feel the tingle also.
Since I joined HVCC though, my summer schedule completely changed. I found myself spending the first few weeks of summer singing my heart out. Twice-a-day rehearsals was something I'd never done before, so when they began before our England and France tour, it was a wake-up call for me.
Because of my experiences in choir, I know that I have to keep singing new songs in choirs and keep traveling to new places all over the globe.
Being a member of HVCC requires a lot of commitment. However, making that commitment is easy when surrounded by music and friends. Even during summer choir, as we attended 2 rehearsals per day before the Somerset tour in 2008, I knew that my dedication and hard work was worth it.
I don't know what my childhood would have held for me without sweat-inducing blazers, 20-hour plane rides, and a developing passion for creating gorgeous music. Thanks to HVCC's presence in my life, I'll never have to know.
I've literally traveled across the world with my best friends. But location is just a side note. Wherever we went, whatever we saw, as long as we were together and singing, the trip was a success. It didn't matter whether we sang in Notre Dame or the Great Wall of China or in the bathrooms at Jefferson School. The goosebumps that appear at the sound of a perfect chord don't understand latitude and longitude.
The reason I'm able to give back is because I took a commitment and stuck to it. So many times, I've wondered, if I hadn't joined choir, where would I be now? And that answer is not nearly as far as I am now.
Such is the power of music. Like the one element that he gave us that brings all people of all religions and nationalities together. And so here we are in this spectacular place, and you are so fortunate to have Professor Sifra to conduct Mozart where he lived, in the dome where he worked, by somebody who looks exactly like Mozart.
Puts the two cultures together. Now tonight, we have put our two cultures together, and it's fantastic.
Having music in my life has given me such an unbelievable sense of accomplishment and joy that I cannot imagine my life without it. Even on my worst days, achieving a perfect harmony or finally mastering a difficult song in choir has made me feel like I'm a part of something bigger than myself.
I've discovered the passion that I have for music today. It's a burning passion like that that gets you up out of bed at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning to walk through 28-degree weather to a barn in the middle of a forest just to sing your heart out.
All the retreats, meetings, and rehearsals to learn this wonderful music may have been called dedication, but I just called it fun.
Without music, my experiences in China, England, and France would not be as memorable. Singing to other people brings out a certain light in their eyes.
Like so many others who had the privilege of participating in Heart of the Valley Choir, I have taken away lessons that I had not expected. I expected to learn how to make the most of my voice and to blend with a choir, but I did not expect to learn to become a better citizen of the world or to cherish every experience.
Choirs sweating in khaki pants on the Great Wall of China in July and shivering in a short-sleeved dress in Seattle in December. Choirs selling poinsettias, chocolate, and script for 3 years to raise money to go to China and England. And choir is sheer excitement as you raise your arms straight in the air with 90 other enthusiastic singers as the plane finally lands in a foreign country.
I have been to England and France on tour, but I have been to Italy, Russia, Brazil, Poland, Romania, and Germany, thanks to the power of music behind the foreign text and the universal comprehension of its emotions.
I was lucky enough to sing in such a remarkable place and to experience something as beautiful as the music we made on that trip. The tour was a whirlwind of activities, rehearsals, and performances, but in that 20-minute performance at La Madeleine, time stood still. Time doesn't stand still very often, but in my experience, when it does, it is always because of choir.
I would like to thank all of the people that donated money to my scholarship. Without the help of these generous donors, I would not have been able to go on the most memorable trip of my life.
One of my favorite memories is singing the French national anthem in Paris and having people stop on the street to cheer and open their windows to listen to us. That truly made me realize how much of an impact music can have on people's lives all over the world.
I've had many fantastic special directors, including Randall Stroop and Henry Leck, who have helped me personally in establishing my musical talent. Not only have I been granted the privilege to sing under these directors, my basic learning has come from our own great director, Carol Nelson. Carol has helped me personally build a foundation for my passion for music, and has inspired me to be the best I can be, and to continue that passion in my college years.
Choir is 11 years of Monday and Tuesday night rehearsals, weekend retreats, concerts, tour, and twice-a-day summer rehearsals. And choir is being a senior and seeing how those 11 years of commitment and dedication have helped build lifelong friendships.
Choir has also helped me develop friendships that have made my life more meaningful. I have had the opportunity to meet people from across our country as well as from around the world. The amazing thing is that all of us share a connection through a love of singing and music. Choir has also given me the chance to get to know people who live in our own town. I can count some of my best friends as people I have sung with in choir. I will cherish memories spent at rehearsals, retreats, and performances for the rest of my life.
HVCC has given me a strong musical foundation which I plan to build on for the rest of my life.
ready for the Magical Mystery Tour?
I don't know all the names of my fellow singers, their dreams and aspirations, their history, but I know the connection formed between us when we've heard our harmonies ring together from the Sherborne Abbey to the Tadmor Barn.
So Heart of the Valley I was a part of since Carol Nappy in 5th grade, and was just a huge part of my life for formative years. It's a phenomenal program, and I'm constantly reminded of the skills that from that I took directly into these kinds of pursuits, into studying music, into like living, and it's such a treat to hopefully maybe give back in some little way and sort of pay homage to this special thing that I was a part of, including what this concert directly benefits, which is the scholarship fund for Heart of the Valley, which I personally took advantage of. It is an incredible feature of a great organization of allowing all kinds of kids, regardless of background or means, to join, to sing, to travel with them. I've been so lucky to travel with the Bubs a lot all over the world, but it started in Heart of the Valley, and it started directly from that scholarship fund.
The only way I could ever express how meaningful this experience is to me is to ask you to listen to us sing. When we sing Ave Maria, Hope for Resolution, and many other HVCC classics, I get goosebumps. I think then I might begin to aptly describe the experience that is choir. This choir is about music and sharing this music with others. I have stayed in choir for the people and the music. The music is what bonds this community together.
I've literally traveled across the world with my best friends. But location is just a side note. Wherever we went, whatever we saw, as long as we were together and singing, the trip was a success. It didn't matter whether we sang in Notre Dame or the Great Wall of China or in the bathrooms at Jefferson School. The goosebumps that appear at the sound of a perfect chord don't understand latitude and longitude.
We're singing on the steps of the Opera House. There were people stopping cabs just to get out and listen to us. They didn't know who we were, we didn't know who they were, and we were probably never going to see them again. But we gave them something that they can walk away with.
HVCC is where I found relaxation, healing, amazing friendships, and experiences beyond my wildest dreams. I've met influential directors who have inspired me to follow my passion and dreams to become a music educator.
I think the best part we can take out of it is we can take what we learned in choir and take our experiences and expand it on when we grow up. And we learn from these experiences, and we're able to tell generations to come just how great of a time we had.
It's like amazing stories from across the globe.
We sing deep stuff. I mean, what we sing isn't light, and people might be intimidated by that and say, like, I can't sing this, but you start to sing it. You hear the words, the music, you hear it, you feel it. And when you feel that music, you become the person who is feeling the pain or the sorrow or the grief or the joy or the happiness. It's you and the people who you share the experience with get into this mindset where you and everyone is one. Everyone is working towards a common goal, and there is nothing anybody can do to break that.
My job here is done.
I felt that same connection and that same like one and wholeness with everybody when we were singing at Theresienstadt.
Yes.
And that was like really deep, and everyone was crying.
What would you say to your friends? What would you like them to see at choir? Yes.
How like great of friends you get. Like I went to school with like almost all of these people except for like a couple of them, but like I was never actually really close with them. And then I joined choir, and then everyone was in choir, and then you get closer with them.
Choir, it builds bonds that it brings people together that would never see each other ever. Like if I didn't go to choir, I wouldn't know half of these people ever, and I would never think of even talking to them.
Yeah. People ask what's the majority of HVCC made up of? And I'll be like, oh, it's kind of CHS and CV, and I'll be like, wait, no. It's like CHS, CV, Sandium Christian, West Albany, South Albany, homeschool kids.
Yeah.
It's like everyone, the kids that you just wouldn't normally meet in any other.
That's true.
I think it's easier to make friends here than in school.
Well, yeah, it took 2 seconds for me to meet to know someone that I don't even know the name of.
When you start like singing a song in school, and then the other choir people that are in that class start joining into you, and everyone's like staring at you.
It's a lie. We are a family. There is no way around it. We've been across the world with each other. We've been through bad, good.
I would tell them about all the different languages we sing in. What's so cool about choir is because we're studying Greece in school right now.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're gonna go to Greece. So we were like so excited. Cool question, are we going to Athens?
Oh, yes. We're actually spending 2 or 3 days in Athens.
So can we go to the Parthenon?
Well,
And the Acropolis?
Yes!
You know, people will be like, oh, you're in choir, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then you'll be kind of like, yeah, well, my choir's also gone to China and Europe and all these other places. And then they stop. Like, it's total pause, like, whoa.
I know I will never forget performing on the steps of the Paris Opera House on Bastille Day, or spontaneously singing Dona Nobis Pacem with 4 other choirs in the Salzburg Cathedral. These experiences and others have taught me that music is truly universal.
How amazing is it to say that the first time I ever left the country, it was to sing in the cathedrals and churches of Salzburg, Vienna, and Prague.
We sang Mozart's Mass in the Salzburg Dom, the building that he had written the song for. Professor Janos Zifra, the Dom's musical director, was directing, and ironically enough, looked a little bit like Mozart himself. In that moment, it came alive for me. The art, the music, the history, the gravity of where we were singing. It was a life-changing moment, and I can't say that I will ever look at or hear Mozart or any music at all ever the same again.
Do you think you would come to choir if we didn't go on tour?
Yeah.
I haven't ever been on any tours. I still show up.
Yeah, because choir, it lifts your spirits. Like, there's so many times when I go to rehearsal and I'm like, I don't want to be here. I have too much to do. I'm too tired. I would rather be at home asleep or finishing all the homework that I have. But every single time, like no matter what, I can come in really upset about something and I leave choir feeling happy.
Choir has always been a light for me. I would often carry the stress and frustrations of school with me, but when I got to choir practice, the magic of HVCC would immediately change my mood to one of enthusiasm, as if flipping a light switch or snapping a finger.
I like choir a lot because like I can just come and leave like all the drama and everything from like school and sports and like my social life behind and just kind of like relax and just get caught up in the music, and it's really fun. That's the best. It's a good way to like express myself. Every time that I like come home and talk about how fun choir was, my mom just has to say, I told you so.
Oh, that's kind of annoying.
There's like a higher learning curve. There's a better like feel to everybody, like the environment, like when you walk in.
I feel like everyone's closer.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when I go to choir, I feel like I've been sick, or I just feel like, why am I doing this? I should probably be resting. And then when I come home, I just don't feel sick anymore. I feel like I'm more alive. Like and then I keep singing, and my parents tell me that I should be doing homework, not singing.
What keeps you guys coming back to choir?
Carol.
Yeah.
You're so Carol. No, it's
Yeah, accepting of us. But you accept us for like
exactly, and that's just
why,
like another.
That's why we love you. Yeah.
I just have loved singing all my life, and I have a lot of music in my life, and choir just kind of put it on the top for me.
The reason that I came to choir was because I like to sing. I sing little ditties when I'm doing stuff. It's like, ooh, I'm running, la 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 la. I'm biking my way to school. And the parents just got tired of me singing with no melody or rhythm or anything, so they started sending me here, and I like it more and more the more I came. Hey, I'll tell some of my friends, oh, you should come to choir, it's so much fun. And they're like, I don't sing. You don't have to. We don't care if you're horrible or if you're off pitch. You just come and sing with the choir.
And we'll fix it.
You'll learn, and
You'll learn.
We won't like fix you because you're you. We'll just help you to grow and express yourself with music.
Do you feel they're
really supportive?
Yeah, because it's kind of just like singing to your mom or your dad, so it's just like family.
Even if you make a mistake while you're trying to sing a solo, or you make a mistake while singing in general, they're not going to start laughing hysterically most of the time.
We're not working as a team to beat someone else. We're working as a team to help others. We're working as a team to spread some kind of cheer to people around the world. I mean, we sing music that gives people hope.
Yeah, it's like our festivals aren't competing against each other.
Yeah, and no one's really competing for solos either.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone tries out for a solo and everyone like appreciates everyone else.
It's really awkward when like we'll have our concert and then it'll be like a break. So then Monday and Tuesday nights, it's like, oh, Monday, wait, there's nothing going on.
Like, I remember thinking the same thing. In prep choir, I was like, okay, I can't wait to be in Children's Choir 1. Children's Choir 1 is like, I can't wait to be in Children's Choir 2. Children's Choir 2 is festival, and festival's chamber. But now that I'm in chamber, I really wish I was back in prep choir 1 because now it's almost over, and then prep choir 1 or prep choir, I would just have like 9 more years ahead of me, and now 9 years are over. So it's just like.
And I joined kind of late, so I never did prep choir, and I kind of wish I joined earlier so I could do that too.
I've sung songs a cappella on the streets of Salzburg and spent my first weeks of summer at twice-a-day rehearsals, which never felt like a waste. I've laughed, cried, danced, sung, and grown up with this choir. And leaving will be very difficult, but I know you can never really leave your family.
Without my experiences in choir, I wouldn't be the person I am today, and if I were given another chance, I would do it all over again.
Really, to be a member of HVCC is to take a musical journey that will last with you for a lifetime.
In the words of Stephen Sametz, I have had pleasure enough. I have had singing.
HVCC is where I found relaxation, healing, amazing friendships, and experiences beyond my wildest dreams.
Or like when people say I can't join choir because I'm not a good singer, or I can't sing very well, or I don't know how to read music. I'm like,
no, you can join choir.
Yeah, that's why you come, because you gotta learn, right?
Yeah.
We don't care if you're horrible or if you're off pitch. You just come and sing with the choir.
I expected to learn how to make the most of my voice and to blend with a choir, but I did not expect to learn to become a better citizen of the world or to cherish every experience.
Here in choir, I mean, we get a lot done, and people will be like, oh, you're in choir, blah blah blah, and then you'll be kind of like, yeah, well, my choir's also gone to China and Europe and all these other places, and then they stop. Like, it's a total pause, like, whoa.
Singing on the steps of the opera house, there were people stopping cabs just to get out and listen to us. They didn't know who we were, we didn't know who they were, and we were probably never going to see them again. But we gave them something that they can walk away with.
Lord, send your spirit in this way. Lord, send us love, send us love, send us.
We saw some amazing places and sang in some of the most beautiful cathedrals. Choir, I know that I have to keep singing new songs in choirs and keep traveling to new places all over the globe.
Part of the Valley Children's Choir is just really, it's opened up something completely different for me.
If I hadn't been part of choir, I wouldn't have had the courage to stand up and give them my 8th grade promotion speech.
Like, no matter what, I can come in really upset about something and I leave choir feeling happy.
So, someone out there in the audience is going to be touched by that music. It's that one person that really matters.
But just seeing that whatever we did was important to them.
Like, you meet so many different kids
Like, we have kids from all the different places and different schools. Like,
There's no separation with like age. Everyone can just talk to everyone, and it doesn't make a difference.
I like choir a lot because like I can just come and leave like all the drama and everything from like school and sports and like my social life behind and just kind of like relax and just get caught up in the music, and it's really fun.
We're not working as a team to beat someone else. We're working as a team to help others. We're working as a team to spread some kind of cheer to people around the world. We sing music that gives people hope, and we sing music that is about like breaking free from slavery. We sing deep stuff. I mean, what we sing isn't light, and people might be intimidated by that and say, like, I can't sing this, but you start to sing it. You hear the words, the music. You hear it. You feel it.
It's because the music contains so many emotions that you can't convey with words.
Show me your true colors, so don't be afraid to let them show me.
Really get to connect with others through music and traveling, and it's just a really great experience, and I think that everybody should get the chance to do it, even if they might not have the money they need themselves.
And then you get to perform it, and it feels so good to be like, I did this!
Let's step right this way for the Magical Mystery Tour! Roll up on the mystery tour!
Something about singing, working hard, traveling, and spending lots of time with wonderful people that simply cannot be described in words.
Having music in my life has given me such an unbelievable sense of accomplishment and joy that I cannot imagine my life without it.
I've traveled across the world in order to share the gift of music with perfect strangers.
Being a member of HVCC requires a lot of commitment. However, making that commitment is easy when surrounded by music and friends.
I've literally traveled across the world with my best friends. Wherever we went, whatever we saw, as long as we were together and singing, the trip was a success.
Choir has also helped me develop friendships that have made my life more meaningful. I've had the opportunity to meet people from across our country as well as from around the world.
Singing to other people brings out a certain light in their eyes.
I know I will never forget performing on the steps of the Paris Opera House on Bastille Day, or spontaneously singing Dona Nobis Pacem with 4 other choirs in the Salzburg Cathedral.
How amazing is it to say that the first time I ever left the country, it was to sing in the cathedrals and churches of Salzburg, Vienna, and Prague.
We sang Mozart's Mass in the Salzburg Dom, the building that he had written the song for. Professor Janos Zifra, the Dom's musical director, was directing, and ironically enough, looked a little bit like Mozart himself. In that moment, it came alive for me. The art, the music, the history, the gravity of where we were singing. It was a life-changing moment.
I would often carry the stress and frustrations of school with me, but when I got to choir practice, the magic of HVCC would immediately change my mood to one of enthusiasm.
In the words of Stephen Sometz, I have had pleasure enough. I have had singing.
Opa! Opa!
Carol asked us at that time if we would come celebrate Heart of the Valley's 30th anniversary, and we said, of course, we would love to.
I would just like to acknowledge Carol and all those folks for all the work they have done in these 30 years to create this organization that has enriched the lives of hundreds, thousands of kids in the Mid-Willamette Valley area. It is a totally world-class organization right here in Corvallis.
Carol Nelson is only one. But boy, what she has been able to accomplish in 30 years here with this choral program, it's humbling and astounding to see. It's been such an honor for Paul and I to be here working with these young people because this is a group of people that gets it. That gets that concept. And because they have such great leaders, and Carol and the other directors that are here tonight, that show them what it can be to join your voices with other people.
From an alumni standpoint, I just wanted to recognize the alumni that are here tonight and to just say thank you for us to Carol. What happens with Heart of the Valley does not end when you graduate. And I think that all of the alum that are up here can easily think of multiple friends that they've made through Heart of the Valley that wish that they could be here tonight. We're thinking about them when we're singing and the memories that we have with those singers. And that's all because of what Carol has created here.
To you, I would like to say that to see you all up there singing together is probably my thanks. You alums, you build it. It was because of you that it's still here. Because of you. And when I watched some of you boys singing on up there, that was pretty fun. I have to say, it looks like you still got it in the tank. I hope you kids that are, that are in children's choir, that it was really fun for you to sing with alums and with the older kids. It's just really great.
Thanks, Mom. You find the way to bring the best out in all of us. And because of you, we all found each other. And we're going to be together forever, and we're going to take your spirit that says that anything at all in the entire world is possible everywhere we go. And we're going to inspire others and keep what you do, even though somebody just said to me, how do you have a mother who never ages?
Carol, when I was a little boy, I was really very fortunate to have someone like you in my life. And I'm sitting here tonight looking at how you have made the magic happen for so many thousands of people in the world. You have done the most difficult thing. You have made the world a more beautiful place. And we will all love you till all the seas gang dry.
Looking towards the future, it's hard for me to imagine the choir stopping for any reason. This choir has raised multiple generations of students over the past 30 years, and I hope it continues to do so for 30 more, as the beauty of music is one that should never be forgotten.
No other activity or group can boast of such a place for youth to develop meaningful and healthy ways of expressing themselves.
I truly hope HVCC can continue for many, many years into the future, as vibrant and warm as it is now.
I may not know the future musicians that will walk the HVCC path, But I hope their experiences are ones that last, and that the music they perform is heard by attentive ears.
Heart of the Valley is like a second family. It's a place where I can be me.
HVCC is my family, and I love every single person in it.
There's a special bond between the singers in the Heart of the Valley Children's Choir that creates friendships that cannot be explained.
Whether it be expression of music, of personality, or humor, it is a place for us to come and be who we want to be.
HVCC has become my giant extended family and will remain so for the rest of my life.
HVCC introduced me to some of my closest friends, both young and old, and strengthened those connections in ways no other program has done.
The choir is a community where everyone belongs and where I found a place to call home away from home.
We've sung with friends that we've made from across the world and friends that we never dreamed of from our own community. We have a bond that is inexplainable.
Choral music, joining voices with other people, it's one of the few vestiges of group activity that don't involve making profits and having competition where we beat someone else.
No matter what mood I entered the First Presbyterian Church in, I'd come out with a smile on my face and tunes in my head.
HVCC has taught me that no matter where we are from, who we are, or what we do, the world is connected by music.
Music has also inspired me, opened me up to other cultures, and introduced me to the world in a new way.
Even when you are halfway across the world in a room full of singers who don't speak the same language, you can still all understand each other through the music you share.
I could tell you about the experiences I've had on tour, working with musicians from all around the world and walking through history, realizing how blessed I truly was.
Singing has allowed me to immerse myself in countless cultures, time periods, and artistic styles through the pieces that we have performed.
We have sung the saddest of songs in the saddest of places, the prettiest songs in the prettiest of places, and the happiest songs in the happiest of places.
I have not only learned how to be a better musician, but also how to be more confident in who I am and how I fit in with my community.
When we take that step to say that we are not going to stand back and do nothing, but we are going to see what we can do to make the world better, that's a very inspiring thing, and you're seeing that on stage right now.
Through HVCC, I learned how to love music, how to love others, and how to love myself.
I've been able to feel more comfortable and confident in my own skin and be able to express it through the music.
Choir has given me the opportunity to travel overseas, pursue ambitions, and reach for the skies, and to test my limits.
I have grown not only as a student of music, but as a student of love. Sharing my love for melodies through psalm, spreading love out into the world with 100 other voices, expressing myself and connecting with the world in a chorus of unexplainable love.
It has taught me invaluable lessons about unity, dedication, and working towards a common goal.
HVCC has taught me not to go at life half-heartedly, but to fully commit to whatever I do to achieve greatness. I know I'm strong enough to take on not only the toughest songs, but the toughest situations that life may throw my way.
There have been so many significant directors such as Eve Ely, Janos Zifra, Paul Caldwell, and Sean Ivory, and of course our wonderful Carol Nelson, who has changed my life forever.
I'll feel very happy knowing that there will be more children who will enjoy the amazing experiences that I have over the past 5 years. Thank you so much, HVCC, for providing such a fantastic program.
I believe the important life lessons and strong friendships created in HVCC will stay with me for the rest of my life.
Choir has taught me that even when you start out uncertain or unsure, as I did my first day of choir, music will always help guide you along and open your eyes to see more, to feel more, and to be more.
Hi, I'm Alex Fender.
I'm Noah Dietrich.
And we're from the band Yo-Yo.
We've been writing music together as Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo we describe to people as a sort of a folktronic band. That is to say, we like to combine elements of 60s folk revival music with more contemporary electronic sounds that you might hear on the radio today.
And we've been writing, recording, and touring with our original music for the last 6 years, based out of Los Angeles. Okay, so Noah and I met when we were in 5th grade in Carol Nelson's music class at Jefferson Elementary.
And our first musical collaboration, as far as we know, was our appearance together in a scene of the 5th grade musical Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. We had a fun...
It was classic.
Duet.
Good dancing.
With choreography, and unfortunately, there's a video floating around out there. Ruin our credibility.
Yeah. Now, you had been in choir already.
I was in the prep choir for maybe a couple years and then children's choir.
Okay.
But I think Carol conscripted you right through her.
She did.
5th grade class was the kind of the gateway drug. Right.
And then just 2 short years later, we were on a plane to England.
That's right.
On the first choir tour that we had been on.
And it was Alex's first time out of the country.
That's true. And we were lucky enough to be participating in this choral festival at Canterbury Cathedral under the direction of Henry Leck. And at that point, we had probably sung just about every single arrangement in his choral series. So that was really cool. We got to work with the real guy.
Right. And I don't know if I appreciated it at the time, but we worked with David Flood, who I remember being just an incredible conductor and so sensitive with little children who were all wound up from tour. and of course, he really knew exactly how a lot of the old school English music we were singing was supposed to sound, knew it on such a physical level, because he's really the product of this choral tradition that had been going on in that exact place for so long. So the next time the choir ventured abroad was in 2002. We visited Austria and Czech Republic and Ukraine.
And went to our sister city.
Right, Uzhhorod.
Right.
And the really interesting thing, I mean, it's really such a different world than Western Europe, where people, you know, it's much easier to travel. Like, I'm still one of the only people I know who's visited Ukraine, and of course, nowadays it would be an even harder place to visit. So that was very valuable in and of itself, to see a place that was more culturally different from the United States than either England or France.
Right.
More socioeconomically different, and musically more different too. We learned some
Ukrainian folk songs.
Right, and everybody was very thrilled when we pulled that one out, although I'm sure, as usual, our pronunciation was far from expert.
Yeah.
But it was cool. You know, we had homestays in Uzhhorod, so we really got some of the domestic, everyday life feel of the place.
Right.
And it was fun and rewarding to be kind of a part of the sister city glue, the part of the whole phenomenon of having a sister city, and feeling connected to other places.
Going to Vienna was a really life-changing experience, especially to interact with the Vienna Boys Choir and their director, Gerald Wirth. Was really incredible because...
Super cool guy in the first place. Incredible.
And great to watch.
Yeah.
Really amazing conductor. And it was just great because we were around kids our age who were on a totally different level musically. And their director just treated us as if we were on that level too, which we weren't really, but it was really great experience to suddenly step into such a professional world.
Not just in rehearsals, but then also interacting with the Vienna boys outside of rehearsal was a trip, because in some ways they were just like us. You know, here we were, like boy children's singers from the United States and from Austria.
And they goofed off just as much as we did.
Right.
You know, they love playing soccer. They also love to vandalize toilets.
Yeah, what was it? They showed us all kinds of stuff.
They dropped a firecracker into one that was out of service and blew a hole in it. So that was fun.
So if there's one thing that overseas travel will do for you, it'll form strong friendships. After spending time in homestays and in hotel rooms in foreign places where we didn't speak the language and had no idea what was going on, we'd form some good friendships inside the choir, and with that as the backdrop,
yeah, that sort of led into us making our own little a cappella group within the choir, which we called the Aviators. Not really sure why.
Grew very organic. Well, I know why, because we were wearing aviator sunglasses constantly.
There we go.
So cool.
So cool.
And it formed really organically.
Yeah. It started when Joey and I, we had done that solo duet, and then we performed it, a sort of updated version featuring some beatboxing. And then we decided to put together an a cappella group because we had seen the University of Oregon's a cappella group, On the Rocks. They came and performed at the Presbyterian Church in Corvallis, and a bunch of us were there and were very inspired. So started when we learned an arrangement of That Thing You Do, which we performed at one of the Heart of the Valley concerts.
Sort of snowballed from there,
right?
Probably to everyone's chagrin.
But it was great. It was such a fun time for us because we were sort of turning all of our experiences with choir in that really supportive atmosphere, especially with Carol, who is really keen on helping us because she just got a kick out of it, I think.
Right.
And it was really cool for us because we got to put our own spin on our experience in the choir.
And kind of take charge, be in charge of our little group,
Right.
make music for ourselves.
Exactly.
Instead of being taught it.
Which then led to us starting a band together called The Stack when we were sophomores in high school.
Yeah, high school band.
And
the Gazette Times called us a legitimate local phenomenon.
You heard it from the source.
Right. And that band also featured probably a little bit more, or at least slightly more expert vocal harmony than you hear in a lot of high school acts, which is definitely due to HVCC, and that's the kind of performance that Alex and I still do. A lot of vocal harmony, a lot of, in some ways, choral singing.
Yeah, and it's still something that people always note about Yo-Yo's music, today even.
Right. Turns out you can't really take the choir out of the boy, for better or for worse.
Exploring the whole music scene in Los Angeles has led us to meet a lot of interesting people, and I met a guy named Tyson Kelly, and over the years we've performed a lot together, and I learned way down the road that his dad is Tom Kelly, and that name might not mean a lot to you, but his songs definitely will ring a bell. And among other hits,
right,
he and his writing partner Billy Steinberg penned True Colors,
right,
the song that the chamber choir sings at the Beth Powell Memorial Concert every spring.
Just this morning, we actually went out to Tom Kelly's place and took with us a copy of the choral arrangement of True Colors that the choir sings. And he very graciously signed a copy for us and made it out to HVCC. And so that's a gift from us to the choir programs.
Bird, your wings not broken, still you cannot fly.
Touring with HVCC was so important and such a formative experience to us, both as individuals and now as musical songwriting partners and friends. It's such a powerful thing to do as a kid, as a young person, as a teenager, because it strikes me that it's just so different from just tourism, from just sightseeing. Because of course there is that that facet of it. You do a lot of learning and and seeing things that are outside of your own experience, but you're not there to just sightsee, you're there to collaborate.
Right, and participate in the culture.
Right, you're a part, you get to be a part of it, and you get to make a kind of meaningful exchange, and that exchange is through music, which of course is something that transcends language and culture, and those experiences, because of course, traveling and life in general is not about the pictures you take or the souvenirs that you bring back, but it's about, they say if you want someone to remember you, they'll remember how you made them feel. And if there's one thing music is good at, it's making you feel things.
That's right.
You'll be there when I wake. You'll be there, but I won't hear your call.
One thing we do, especially when we go through Corvallis, is play acoustic shows. And we still have this little element of the Heart of the Valley style performing where we play a song called Redbird that's on our first album. And the last time that we were in Corvallis, we played it, we dedicated it to Carol, who was at the show. And we sang it totally acoustically, just like the choir used to perform, no mics. And we'd like to leave you with a recording that we just made of that song.
So we hope this song works as a kind of token of our gratitude to HVCC
and to Carol
Nelson
and everyone else who volunteers their time to be part of it, and for people who help kids go on tour and help run the scholarships that kids need to do these tours, which is really helpful because these experiences are worth a lot.
You'll be there, but I won't hear your call. Redbird, your wings not broken, still you cannot fly. You were born to this earth, and it's to this earth you'll die. Redbird, drunk on water, sing your song to me. You'll climb so high, but you won't sleep tonight.
Heart of the Valley Children's Choir is my home and my escape. No matter what is happening outside of the Presbyterian Church, choir is always there every Monday and Tuesday night.
Even if the rest of my life was chaotic, choir gave me a chance to forget the stress and focus on creating something beautiful.
It's provided a safe haven from the insanity of school, where judgments and drama are cast aside in favor of music.
Coming to choir has always put me in the best of moods, regardless of how I felt prior to rehearsal. How can you not be in a good mood when you're surrounded by your choir family, all which share the same goal as you, to sing?
Heart of the Valley was my sanctuary and the highlight of my week, and still is today.
Carol has this knack for finding kids who maybe aren't quite sure what it is that they're good at and making this something that they're great at, and finding that sparkle in them and bringing it out.
These people here have shown me that laughter and happiness can be found anywhere, even in the darkest times of life.
It was a place where I felt safe, inspired, and content.
HVCC has always pushed me to do better and give more. More time, more work, more feeling.
Many of my friends are in musical ensembles who don't have the same dedication and never see past the music on the page. By putting so much time, energy, and effort into a piece, we build a relationship with it. A relationship that leaves a mark on you that I won't forget.
Working with my friends to share our hard work in the form of a concert at the end of every term is so rewarding. Taking a song from solfege to performance ready is a feat only few understand but many can appreciate.
I learned for myself how much hard work and determination could create beautiful music. I saw how dozens of people, or the thousands that were at the Festival of Aegean in Greece, could come together and astound the senses with magnificent performances.
When you truly give your all, when you put your heart, mind, and soul into something, your dedication will show. Because when you put all of yourself into the music, that's when it truly comes alive.
HVCC has changed my life. Singing has become my passion, and HVCC has taught me to follow that passion with utter dedication.
Choral music, joining voices with other people, it's one of the few vestiges of group activity that don't involve making profits and having competition where we beat someone else, you know.
The ability to work alongside fellow musicians, each of us working to unleash our inner artist, working to create something greater than ourselves. That synergy is what makes this choir phenomenal.
It's become a place that I can dedicate myself to music alongside peers who share the same passion for music and know that however challenging the music, we as a whole can turn the music into a living, breathing experience for both us and the audience.
You can't do it alone in choir. You can't make the whole piece work by yourself, no matter how hard you practice.
For me, choir isn't so much about my personal improvement as it is giving whatever I can to support the singers around me. My hope is to contribute to the sound in a way that lets the whole choir shine.
We learn in choir that every voice matters, a lesson that teaches us all to pull our own weight.
Music is a wonderful reason to get together with friends, and although it's hard work, singing pays off. The best part is that it's shared.
In a choir, every voice must blend together. The goal is not to stand out, but to lift everyone around you up. For the last 2 years, I have been surrounded by the most spectacular and enthusiastic musicians.
I felt the full force of this sense of togetherness when, as a choir, we traveled to the Terezin concentration camp in Austria. No longer were we individual voices singing our own notes. We were one, singing melodies as one, holding hands and cherishing the emotional significance of the moment.
We value every voice and know that united, we are greater than the sum of our parts. I think of the joy and sadness our voices can inspire and wonder, how can I keep from singing?
All the most beautiful and miraculous moments I've experienced while singing have occurred in HVCC. My directors have taught me to not only sing the music, but to feel it.
Heart of the Valley Children's Choir rehearsals have been a haven for me as a place I can learn and express all kinds of emotions through singing.
HVCC has become so much more than just a choir. It has become a place of expression and color.
We sing because it brings us joy. We sing because the world needs hope and healing. There are so many negative messages in our world today, but the songs that Carol has brought into the lives of her singers have brought us truth and meaning. With such joy in our hearts, we truly cannot keep from singing everywhere we go.
HVCC taught me that I could sing out and be heard. It taught me to be confident, not only with music, but with everything.
I see a clear transformation from the shy, quiet kid whose mom wrangled him to choir as a third grader to the goofy yet dedicated man I am today.
We have collectively built confidence, appreciation, and trust in ourselves and in each other. The music that has resulted has drawn tears from our eyes, stress from our souls, sickness from our bodies, and smiles bigger than our faces, all feeling the love that we have built for one another and for the music.
Choir has helped me blossom as an individual, and I have made friends through choir that I know will be with me for my life.
Going with an amazing choir and an awesome director all the way to Ireland is pretty spectacular.
It was amazing. It was my first time out of the country.
My favorite part about Ireland was seeing and singing at Trinity College Library.
Singing in all the cathedrals were spectacular. It was really interesting to see the culture.
I especially loved the credo from the Bluegrass Mass. And the fact that Dr. Kevin Fenton picked me, of all people, to sing my favorite solo really validated my 10 years of singing.
Then on the boat, we all began to sing together, and I just felt very unified with everybody else in my choir. It was just a wonderful feeling.
I felt really honored to sing with all the talented people at the festival.
Kevin Fenton, that guy is awesome. He just made it a good experience.
I've had some different tour guides, but Erwin probably has to be my favorite all time.
And they just thought you were an absolutely fantastic group, and they just loved the drinking song. And, so they just wished you all the very best. So everywhere you've gone, really, you've just kind of touched people.
I jumped at the chance to travel to Greece for the Festival of the Aegean. And we not only sang together as one body, channeling a myriad of sentiments, but we were also able to fully interpret the history that went along with our words by singing in sites that held so many stories of their own, such as the Parthenon.
Singing Mass with the Children with John Rutter in Greece was just a reminder of how far I have come. Hearing the resonating notes of the finale in a Greek opera house instantly brought me back to when I first sang it.
Working with John Rutter was inspiring, and each new venue was a reward for all the hard work we had given to sing each note to perfection.
In my years with HVCC, I have had the opportunity to work with prodigious ensembles of world-class musicians from across the globe and unite in this creation of beautiful and moving music.
In Greece, I learned just how much music lovers have in common between cultures. Even if the words are in a different language, our musicality unites us.
I have been blessed to grow up in a community that celebrates and embraces the arts. Singing has always been my passion, and HVCC gave me the ability to share my passion with the world while making life-changing memories.
Being in choir changes people for the better. Through my short but beloved time, choir has taught me that the more dedication you put into something, the more you get out of it.
I've also learned that no matter what, you have to stick with it, because the outcomes are so beautiful and they can never be matched. In Greece, for instance, singing Prostus Paracampus for the first time in the Hermopolis Square, and seeing just how excited both the young and old became as they sang along with us was amazing.
There's something about a harmonious chord that causes me to love deeper and appreciate the little things life gives us.
I've learned that no matter how sad you are, that the music will lift you up, and so will your choir family. That it's better to be confident and mess up than sit quietly and miss the opportunity to learn from your mistakes.
Music is anything you need it to be. Music is hope, connection, and understanding. Music is protest and expression. But most of all, music is healing.
Being the only child of a single mom, it always felt as if there was an empty space in my heart where siblings and a father would have fit. Whether we were strolling through the narrow streets of a Greek city or singing in the magical cement theater of the barn at Camp Tadmor, the friends I've made in HVCC have filled those holes by being a family, all of us tied together by the incredible thread of music.
I felt immediately welcomed into the choir family and felt like I had been part of it longer than I actually had.
The incredible faculty, the directors, and the volunteers that work tirelessly to keep Heart of the Valley up and running place an inordinate amount of trust and faith in us, and that makes us want to earn it.
The magic does not just happen because we have the best director and accompanists, but because we are family.
It taught me that family does not have to be blood and how music can bring people together, whether that is in Portland or Azolimnos, Greece.
We've been through everything together. We've laughed through pranks at Tadmor, pushed each other to try new things on tour, and even mourned together. HVCC is my family.
I'm always sad when I leave rehearsals, concerts, trips, or casual get-togethers. But I know that Carol, the music, and the memories that we've made together will always bring us back together again.
HVCC has made me who I am, and I will forever cherish my memories in it.
So thank you, HVCC, for helping me deepen my love for music and giving me a second family.
Without choir, I would not be the person I am today, and for that, I'll be forever thankful.
Carol, when I was a little boy, I was really very fortunate to have someone like you in my life. You have made the magic happen for so many thousands of people in the world. You have done the most difficult thing. You have made the world a more beautiful place.
No matter where I go in life, this choir will go with me. These songs will bring joy and peace amidst the storms of life. I will never forget the experiences I have had with this choir. These songs are a part of my soul now, and they will always be with me.
You have a group of people in this room performing for you right now, each of which is only one, and yet they have chosen to join their voices with other like-minded people and make the world a more beautiful place. When we make that step, when we take that step to say that we are not going to stand back and do nothing, but we are going to see what we can do to make the world better, that's a very inspiring thing, and you're seeing that on stage right now.
Being part of a group is an exceptional experience. Being part of an exceptional group is a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Being in this choir and staying in this choir is one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Over the past 10 years, I've become more confident in myself and my abilities, and I can only attribute that to the welcoming, encouraging, and loving atmosphere that choir offers.
Joining the chamber choir felt like joining a great big family. They've made learning and singing music a great experience for me.
The HVCC community is something special. When one of us begins to sing, the rest of the choir joins in effortless harmony. We have a common passion, creating beautiful sound. The pursuit of this goal keeps us united, engaged, moving toward an elevated world of harmony of our own creation. And we get to do this every week.
Over the years, HVCC has shaped me into who I am today by making friends along the way, building my musical career and leadership skills.
This choir has changed the lives of singers and families even for the last 35 years.
Over the past 7 years, HVCC has been a sacred place for me every week to create music and to grow as a person.
Choir has cultivated each of us socially in ways that no other activity can. Required from each of us is the dedication not only to the music, but to each other, to learn what we need to learn to best contribute, to create both musical and social harmony.
Choir has taught me to be strong and confident, love others for their own strengths and abilities, and that commitment and dedication come easily when it's something that you love.
HVCC has taught me the importance and magic of music. Not only have I learned about music and music theory, but HVCC has taught me lots of patience, confidence, leadership, and dedication.
When asked why so much of my time is dedicated to choir, my response is easy. Choir has shaped me, taught me how to be a leader, shown me how to appreciate hard work and practice, and to know the importance of listening to others. Above all, choir has taught me to love music.
Every concert has raised both my spirits and my confidence in myself and my abilities.
Our sense of unity that was born from enjoying music together taught me how to be able to see the best in everyone. The most beautiful thing is hearing the choir's final echo after a song, knowing that everyone around me is working equally hard to create something beautiful, not just for the audience, but also for us.
Choir has taught me not only to appreciate the end result, the performance, but to treasure the hours and practice of the journey to get there. There's no feeling quite like singing in a choir, and it is a feeling that I hope to experience for the rest of my life.
Through the choir, I am able to bring joy and art to others, from the Portland Boy Choir to attendees of the Nativity Scene exhibition.
And it's a beautiful organization that is so accepting of every single young person. Everybody can be who they are, and they're still cared for, and they make beautiful music together.
Choir has always been a light for me. I would often carry the stress and frustrations of school with me, but when I got to choir practice, the magic of HVCC would immediately change my mood to one of enthusiasm, as if flipping a light switch or snapping a finger.
Heart of the Valley Children's Choir rehearsals have been a haven for me as a place I can learn and express all kinds of emotions through singing. It's become a place that I can dedicate myself to music alongside peers who share the same passion for music and know that however challenging the music, we as a whole can turn the music into a living, breathing experience for both us and the audience.
Using essential music skills such as sight reading and solfege each week at practice has helped me in other musical groups and given me an advantage in learning music quickly.
The memories that I cherish the most are the ones of the people and the friendships that I never would have had the courage to pursue otherwise.
Look at how unique each one of these singers are, and how much every one of them is cared for by other singers and the adults that they work with. It's so nurturing. It's almost unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
I have learned that dedication is important to improve myself, my choir, and my community.
The biggest thing that I will take away from my time in HVCC will be the confidence that I have gained in myself and my singing. That is something that will stay with me forever.
It's pretty intense for me to actually think about how HVCC has impacted my life. You know how Carol always talks to us about like pulling emotion from the audience? It's just always happened so naturally to me that sometimes it's scary to be like, wow, this entire choir is doing something that I already do. super well on my own, but it's so beautiful. I mean, it's just stunning.
I speak in a universal language called music. Music evokes feelings that I cannot relay into words, feelings that are only expressed through song.
I feel I've started to understand the power that music can have. When singing with emotion, I didn't sing for the audience, or even for the director. I always did it for the music. I felt the music deserved to be sung with emotion. And to sing it without such feeling was almost disgraceful.
I have learned the joy of working together with my fellow singers to create something beautiful.
Working with Carol to bring life to the art and emotion and meaning of composers from all over history has been an absolutely amazing experience. And now, I don't think there's anything in the world I'd give it up for.
Music to me is more than just notes. It's more than a pastime. It's more than a force. It's almost an energy, pulsing through me like blood, giving me life and purpose. HVCC has been an outlet for this energy and has helped me to learn to be part of the whole.
It's amazing how we as a choir, with hard work and lots of jokes and stories every week, can take a simple piece of music and create a masterpiece that makes our parents cry.
Getting to go on tour with Heart of the Valley last summer in Italy was one of the most memorable and amazing things I've ever done. I not only got to work with the amazing director, Dr. Randall Stroop, but I got to meet and make friends with singers and choirs from all over the world.
There's nothing like a choir trip. The blend of the work and the camaraderie, seeing the architecture, and feeling the places where people have sung before us for centuries.
I've seen songs unite people my whole life because of HVCC. Choir has united people of all backgrounds to come together celebrating music. Many doors have been opened to me through choir. I've had a chance to sing in Irish cathedrals, Portland malls, and acoustic bars at Tadmore, creating great friendships and memories that will last a lifetime.
How many 18-year-olds can say that they have sung with Grammy Award-winning vocalists at the Christ Church in Dublin? The surreal experience of being halfway across the world singing a beautiful piece I never would have known without HVCC is nearly indescribable.
In a baptistry in Pisa, we sang Os Justi, which is Latin for the mouth of the righteous. I don't know how else to explain it, but singing there was incredible. The resonance in the baptistry was amazing, and the emotion that we sang with throughout the song was wonderful.
HVCC has truly allowed me to do things I never thought I would be able to do. Having the opportunity to sing in so many amazing locations in Ireland was one of them.
I've had the life-changing experience of visiting the Terezin concentration camp located in the Czech Republic and was lucky enough to be part of the coming together that took place after this.
Wherever we are, the music we create connects us in a way that nothing else can. In between rehearsals at our Festival of the Aegean in Greece, our choir started to sing Radioactive in the Plaza of Thermopylae. As a group of French children stood watching, we invited them into the circle and they joined us in harmony. It was amazing to watch just how one song can break down the barriers between languages, countries, and even continents. HVCC has shown me that music is not just a hobby, but something that reaches into our souls and our deepest sense of humanity.
We have collectively built confidence, appreciation, and trust in ourselves and in each other. The music that has resulted has drawn tears from our eyes, stress from our souls, sickness from our bodies, and smiles bigger than our faces, all feeling the love that we have built for one another and for the music.
HVCC has exposed me to many different composers and composing styles. It has allowed me to travel the world learning about myself and those around me.
I've laughed, cried, danced, sung, and grown up with this choir. And leaving will be very difficult, but I know you can never really leave your family.
I have seen singers walk in too shy to make eye contact, try out for solos less than a year later.
When I first joined choir as an 8th grade student, I had very little musical experience and was struggling with the voice change. I struggled for quite a while through freshman year of high school and frequently wondered if I was actually contributing to choir with my voice.
It has been a priceless experience for me, and I will remember it forever as my homeland.
Because we accept everybody unconditionally, regardless of their ability to pay. And we actually operate on a very slim budget so that, we can make it affordable for all families. Actually, about a third, or a little more than a third of what we spend each year minimally has to come out of donations. So if we had no donations, our choir year would probably be 5.5 months instead of 9.
I love singing with Heart of the Valley. If I could be a kid for my entire life, I would do it just to sing with them.
I am a better singer and a better person from being part of HVCC.
I am so incredibly thankful to call Heart of the Valley Children's Choir my family.
And that crazy director, she puts the heart in Heart of the Valley Children's Choir.
Because of HVCC, I am now part of a community that I will always be able to call my family. And because of all these experiences, I am the person I am today.
It's difficult to think of a part of my life that choir has not profoundly touched. I'll always keep my HVCC family in mind as I strive to live the words from Untraveled Worlds. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees.
I'm always sad when I leave rehearsals, concerts, trips, or casual get-togethers. But I know that Carol, the music, and the memories that we've made together will always bring us back together again.
HVCC is more than just music. No matter what the future holds, we are always at home with Heart of the Valley Children's Choir.
Getting to go on tour with Heart of the Valley last summer in Italy was one of the most memorable and amazing things I've ever done. I not only got to work with the amazing director, Dr. Randall Stroop, but I got to meet and make friends with singers and choirs from all over the world.
There's nothing like a choir trip. The blend of the work and the camaraderie, seeing the architecture, and feeling the places where people have sung before us for centuries.
I've seen songs unite people my whole life because of HVCC. Choir has united people of all backgrounds to come together celebrating music. Many doors have been opened to me through choir. I've had a chance to sing in Irish cathedrals, Portland malls, and acoustic barns at Camp Tadmore, creating great friendships and memories that will last a lifetime.
How many 18-year-olds can say that they have sung with Grammy Award-winning vocalists at the Christ Church in Dublin? The surreal experience of being halfway across the world singing a beautiful piece I never would have known without HVCC is nearly indescribable.
In a baptistry in Pisa, we sang Os Justi, which is Latin for the mouth of the righteous. I don't know how else to explain it, but singing there was incredible. The resonance in the baptistry was amazing, and the emotion that we sang with throughout the song was wonderful.
HVCC has truly allowed me to do things I never thought I would be able to do. Having the opportunity to sing in so many amazing locations in Ireland was one of them.
I've had the life-changing experience of visiting the Terezín concentration camp located in the Czech Republic and was lucky enough to be part of the coming together that took place after this.
Wherever we are, the music we create connects us in a way that nothing else can. In between rehearsals at our Festival of the Aegean in Greece, our choir started to sing Radioactive in the Plaza of Hermopoli. As a group of French children stood watching, we invited them into the circle and they joined us in harmony. It was amazing to watch just how one song can break down the barriers between languages, countries, and even continents. HVCC has shown me that music is not just a hobby, but something that reaches into our souls and our deepest sense of humanity.
My absolute favorite memory with the choir was last summer. It was my first time overseas without my parents, and not only was I able to grow as an individual, but as a musician. We sang Mozart's Mass in the Salzburg Dom, the building that he had written the song for. Professor Janos Zifra, the Dom's musical director, was directing, and ironically enough, looked a little bit like Mozart himself. In that moment, it came alive for me. The art, the music, the history, the gravity of where we were singing. It was a life-changing moment, and I can't say that I will ever look at or hear Mozart or any music at all ever the same again.
Deciding not to quit HVCC after 1 year in prep choir was the best decision I ever made. I worked my way up from being shy and quiet to the confident student director I am today. Whether singing the White Cliffs of Dover on the ferry to France, feeling overwhelming emotion at Terezín concentration camp, or even singing in the barn at Tadmor, choir has always brought me joy and fulfillment.
Being the only child of a single mom, it always felt as if there was an empty space in my heart where siblings and a father would have fit. Whether we were strolling through the narrow streets of a Greek city or singing in the magical cement theater of the barn at Camp Tadmor, the friends I've made in HVCC have filled those holes by being a family, all of us tied together by the incredible thread of music.
The Portland tour has always been one of my favorites. A few years ago, the grotto closed due to bad weather, so we had to find an alternative place to sing. We ended up singing at Pioneer Place. Singing to strangers at that mall made me really happy. It was like giving presents to everyone that walked by. I think we made a lot of people happy that day.
The rehearsals, retreats, concerts, tours, and especially the choral music we've sung are beyond numbers for me. I feel like I am made of music and musical experiences. This connectedness was especially experienced at Terezín, a concentration camp in the Czech Republic, where we stood on the same steps that the concentration camp choir stood long ago. All the dedicated choir hours and meaningful outcomes have inspired me to want to study music therapy next year.
And the rest of my life. HVCC taught me that I could sing out and be heard. It taught me to be confident, not only with music, but with everything. It taught me that family does not have to be blood and how music can bring people together, whether that is in Portland or Azolimnos, Greece. Singing Mass with the Children with John Rutter in Greece was just a reminder of how far I have come. Hearing the resonating notes of the finale in a Greek opera house instantly brought me back to when I first sang it.
Hard work paid off when we traveled to Ireland last summer. I pushed back tears while singing Amazing Grace and a bluegrass credo with the most musically talented and wonderful people I've ever met.
I've met influential directors who have inspired me to follow my passion and dreams to become a music educator. I've learned to connect to the music and sing beyond the notes and rhythms, as well as sing beautiful lyrics through my oboe with songs like No Time, Psalm 23, and Beneath the African Sky. Venues like Terezín concentration camp in Austria and the Veterans Rehabilitation Center are indescribably beautiful and memorable.
Visiting the Nazi concentration camp Theresienstadt was one of the saddest and most memorable experiences of my life. Our beautiful singing brought me to complete tears while also filling me with hope for more peace and understanding amongst cultures. However far away choir has taken me, there is always a message that hits close to home and teaches me a lot about myself and my abilities.
The summer of 2010 took me to Denver, Colorado, where I met the highly entertaining Paul Caldwell and endearing Sean Ivory. During this time, I first began to realize where dedication might take me, and the rewards I would earn simply by putting out a little extra effort for something I loved.
Several more years brought HVCC to its 30th anniversary, where I worked again with Paul Caldwell and Sean Ivory. But the true highlight of that summer was our festival in Greece. Working with John Rutter was inspiring, and each new venue was a reward for all the hard work we had given to sing each note to perfection.
I felt the full force of this sense of togetherness when, as a choir, we traveled to the Terezin concentration camp in Austria. No longer were we individual voices singing our own notes. We were one, singing melodies as one, holding hands and cherishing the emotional significance of the moment. At that point, I realized that choir was much more than just an hour and a half once a week. It was a place where I felt safe, inspired, and content. Without choir, I would not be the person I am today, and for that, I'll be forever thankful.
Another unique aspect of HVCC is the opportunity to perform in special concerts and tours around the community and state, supporting the choir and enriching the community. Although these events are not strictly required and do take time, I have learned that they are not just important for the choir, but are valuable and enjoyable learning experiences. Through the choir, I am able to bring joy and art to others, from the Portland Boy Choir to attendees of the Nativity Scene exhibition. I have learned that dedication is important to improve myself, my choir, and my community.
I can't help but think back to our trip to Terezin, the concentration camp outside of Prague. All we could think about was the loss that had happened where we stood. But we came together as one and held each other up. The feeling of community, as we hugged and wiped away tears after a song, is one that I haven't found anywhere else in my life.
I have learned so much music in my 9 years of HVCC. Those songs and the texts that go with them will always be a part of me. I know I will never forget performing on the steps of the Paris Opera House on Bastille Day, or spontaneously singing Dona Nobis Pacem with 4 other choirs in the Salzburg Cathedral. These experiences and others have taught me that music is truly universal.
I can clearly remember one particular rehearsal, some sweltering day in June when preparing for the Festival of the Aegean in Greece, when Carol told us something I think I'll remember long after I leave Heart of the Valley. Music is anything you need it to be. Music is hope, connection, and understanding. Music is protest and expression. But most of all, music is healing.
While in Austria with the choir, I experienced the thrill of singing in a giant cathedral with so many other remarkable voices and singing one of my favorite songs, Alleluia.
I've learned that being committed to something means staying with it and making room for it in your life. I will never forget yearly pranks and skits at Camp Tadmor, performing To Be Certain of the Dawn with the OSU Orchestra, or singing Mass in the Vatican. Choir is a part of me and has been for over half my lifetime.
I don't know whether to focus on the incredible places where I've been privileged enough to sing, the hilarious stories that emerge from choir retreats and tours, or maybe the amazing chill bump-inducing music we've sung. I'll never be able to express in words the influence and pride that being part of HVCC has given me, but I will always be saying thank you. Through choir, I've formed strong bonds with people I respect and care for dearly. I've sung songs a cappella on the streets of Salzburg and spent my first weeks of summer at twice-a-day rehearsals, which never felt like a waste. I've laughed, cried, danced, sung, and grown up with this choir. And leaving will be very difficult, but I know you can never really leave your family.
I could tell you about the experiences I've had on tour, working with musicians from all around the world and walking through history, realizing how blessed I truly was.
On the Ireland tour this past summer, I left America for the first time and was able to see many beautiful cathedrals and experience Europe. Despite my appreciation for these aspects of the trip, the memories that I cherish the most are the ones of the people and the friendships that I never would have had the courage to pursue otherwise. And I learned that performing alone can create a gorgeous sound, but that the most beautiful thing is hearing the choir's final echo after a song, knowing that everyone around me is working equally hard to create something beautiful, not just for the audience, but also for us.
Heart of the Valley Children's Choir has been a part of my life for almost as long as I can remember. Choir has taught me so much, not only about myself, but about the world around me. For me, choir isn't so much about my personal improvement as it is giving whatever I can to support the singers around me. My hope is to contribute to the sound in a way that lets the whole choir shine. HVCC has always pushed me to do better and give more. More time, more work, more feeling, and that has prepared me to rise to life's other challenges.
Spending time with my amazing choir friends while being able to sing together is truly an experience that I will cherish for the rest of my life. I will always be thankful for the amazing opportunities that HVCC has given me and I will never forget my choir family and all that I've learned while singing with them.
Choir has given me so much that I'm truly thankful for. My fondest memories were made from choir. It has engraved deep within me a strong love for music. It has been a priceless experience for me, and I will remember it forever as my homeland.
I have participated in the Heart of the Valley Children's Choir for 9 years, and in those 9 years, I have not only learned how to be a better musician, but also how to be more confident in who I am and how I fit in with my community. In choir, I can be who I really am and know that I will be accepted.
Throughout my own years of participation, I have seen and experienced amazing things. I have seen singers walk in too shy to make eye contact, try out for solos less than a year later.
I will never forget my first choir concert because I was terrified. When the choir was lined up outside the sanctuary, mere minutes before we were supposed to sing, I froze. My mouth went dry, my hands were clammy, and I was gasping for air. I left my spot in line and walked out a side door to get some air. A student director followed me out and asked me what was wrong. After several minutes, she managed to coax me back into line, reassuring me that there were enough people on stage that it wouldn't feel like people were watching me. I spent that first choir concert right next to that student director, in the back row with my eyes glued on the director. I thought maybe if I didn't look at the audience, it would feel like they weren't there. I was wrong. I was painfully aware of how many people were watching. But I finished the concert, and when I got off stage, I felt amazing, like I'd accomplished something. Luckily, thanks to my wonderful choir and directors, I've gotten over my fear of choir concerts. And I am so grateful for the wonderful, loving, accepting community that HVCC has provided me with. I had the opportunity last summer to go to Italy with HVCC, which was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Traveling with some of my best friends was a dream, and we got to work with Randall Stroop, who is one of my favorite directors. We were doing 7 pieces in hour-long concerts, but I didn't mind because I loved every single one of them. I'm so grateful for all the memories I have in HVCC, and I will cherish them forever. And not just the scary parts, the joyous ones too.
From a very young age, I've been extremely perceptive, a trait that makes me unusually emotional and sensitive. My emotional perception of music has always been intense and powerful. In many situations, I am hindered by this sensitivity. In HVCC, however, I have learned to explore my emotions through music. Fluctuations of the music, intonations, and stresses on different words have all been tools that have helped me not only sing with emotion, but express myself emotionally. For instance, on tour this past summer, Z. Randall Stroop asked us to feel the word lumen, light, pull on us like a tide or a wave. We swelled in and faded out. Over and over, we repeated the word lumen, imagining we were one collective tide washing over the earth. I felt so connected to the music and the earth then. I think another very powerful part of HVCC is the commitment I have learned by being part of this group of talented young adults. Singing in Italy this summer was a stunning example of this commitment. I thought there was no way each separate choir could learn the part and then put it together to form one whole choir. It was then that Stroop introduced himself, and I was startled to see that everybody could form one whole choir. I was shocked. So many voices in unison, so many voices in crescendo. I felt so whole in that moment. HVCC has created this opportunity for me. I understand clearly that my payment for being part of this glorious choir is the commitment I must show to my section and my choir. The beauty, the wholeness, the music, the friends have all been my takeaway.
I'm always sad when I leave rehearsals, concerts, trips, or casual get-togethers, but I know that Carol, the music, and the memories that we've made together will always bring us back together again.
Because of HVCC, I am now part of a community that I will always be able to call my family.
Without my experiences in choir, I wouldn't be the person I am today, and if I were given another chance, I would do it all over again.
HVCC raised me. It took me to untraveled worlds and taught me more about teamwork than any team ever has.
Really, to be a member of HVCC is to take a musical journey that will last with you for a lifetime.
How amazing is it to say that the first time I ever left the country, it was to sing in the cathedrals and churches of Salzburg, Vienna, and Prague. Many of nights of rehearsal, though they have seemed tedious at times, have all led up to experiences that I will treasure for the rest of my life. In the words of Stephen Sametz, I have had pleasure enough. I have had singing.